Hello, this is a walkthrough showing you how you can use the OpenStack Zenpack to monitor the status of your servers and images deployed in an OpenStack compute cloud. For purposes of this demonstration, we'll discover and monitor a single server hosted in Rackspace's cloud servers. The OpenStack Zenpack is hosted on GitHub. You can find both the documentation and downloads at github.com/zenos/zenpacks.zenos.openstack. We'll start by downloading and installing the Zenpack according to the installation instructions. So first we'll grab this link. And download it. And run that command to install it. And then restart to register that new Zenpack. Now we can come over into our Zenoss web interface. And this is how we can discover what we have running as far as images and flavors and servers in that cloud. We'll go to the Add Device button and choose to add an OpenStack. The hostname or IP will be rackspacecloud.com for Rackspace. For Rackspace, the auth URL, and you can find this on their site, auth.api.rackspacecloud.com/version 1.0. My username, don't use that. And you'll have to go get your own API key. And if we flip over to the Rackspace site here, if you go under Your Account and API Access, you can find your API key here. Just click Show and it'll show it to you. Okay, the job has been submitted. We'll go actually look at this job log to see what it's doing. And you can see here, right, we're requesting the flavors available, which are the hardware configurations, right? You can choose from the small instances that have 256 meg of RAM up to large instances with 16 gigabytes of RAM, and that's what the flavors are. The images, these are the operating systems you lay down and start with, CentOS, Red Hat, Oracle, Linux, Ubuntu, and requesting the actual servers that you have deployed in the cloud. We can see that it's done discovering that. If we come back to the infrastructure page here, you'll see that you now have this rackspacecloud.com. That was the host name or IP address you entered on that previous dialog. We can click in there to see what was discovered. And again, you see those three things: images, flavors, and servers. So we'll start with the flavors here, and you can see that range, right? You have your 256 megabyte server. We can order these by the size from smallest to largest. So these are what available. You can see how many of each flavors you have deployed. In my case, I only have one of the smallest instance deployed. Then we can go over to the images. And these are all of the images, whether they're the shared global images, in this case they all are, that are available for you to provision, and what the status of these images are. And this is monitored actively. So if you deploy an image and it gets into some kind of unknown state, you can receive notification about that. And again, we're going to see how many of each type of image we have deployed. And in my case, I just have one, and it's Ubuntu 10.10. And then finally, the most important part here is the servers. So for each server that you have here, I just have the one. It's going to give you some basic information in terms of its name, its status. Again, this is monitored on an ongoing basis. You can read that documentation at GitHub to see how we map the different server statuses to the event severities. But basically, if it is a hard reboot status or reboot status, you're going to get an event about it until that gets cleared when it fully comes back active. And again, you can see the flavor and the image of this particular server, along with its public and private IPs, whether it's being backed up, whether it's being monitored. And something you'll see here is, well, we currently, under the OpenStack Compute API, we can't get individual metrics in terms of CPU utilization, memory utilization, disk utilization, that kind of thing. What Zenoss is able to do for you is, if you're also managing the guest operating system running within this server, in this case the Ubuntu operating system, we can link it together for you automatically here. So we're going to show you these metrics that are being pulled either via SSH or via SNMP from the underlying operating system. And then finally, we can go to the graphs for the OpenStack instance sort of in its totality, so you can see over time how many servers you have deployed in which states they're in. You can see there are quite a lot of different states for servers to be in. You can do the same thing for images. How many images exist within your deployment and what state they're in over time, and then how many flavors over time you have. So that's what you get from OpenStack. In terms of performance monitoring, if we flip over to the Rackspace user interface again, and I go to my servers, wait for that to load. You see I have that Cloud Server 01 that Zenoss picked up. If we drill into this, we can generate a condition that would cause Zenoss to throw an event or notice that something is wrong here. What I'll do is I will put this VM into rescue mode. And then if we come back over to Zenoss, we'll see that we have an error condition on one of our servers. If we flip over to the lat and look at the events for that particular server, we can see that it is in a rescue state, which is a critical event. If we go up to the events for the entire cloud, we'll see the same event there. So that is server status monitoring using the OpenStack Zenpack with Zenoss. If you have any further questions, go to the GitHub page here at github.com/Zenoss/zenpacks.zenoss.openstack, read through the README, or enter issues if you find problems. Thank you.